Look, I know that feeling. You pure one drive right down the middle and then chunk the next three approach shots, and you stand there asking yourself if it was your tempo or if you just lifted your head again. You can keep guessing or you can use data to actually fix it. Today, we are ranking 5 of the best swing analyzers you can get for iPhone and Android right now. They are all on Amazon. If you want to check current prices and availability, just hit the links in the description box. That's where I keep everything for you. All right, let's dive in. Starting off the countdown at number 5, we have the Arccos Smart Sensors Gen 4. Now, I know some of you are going to look at this and say, hey, that is not a swing analyzer, that is just a shot tracker. And you are partially right. But here is the thing. If you do not know how far you actually hit the ball, how are you supposed to know if your swing changes are actually working? That is what Arccos does better than anyone else. You get a set of 14 little green sensors. They weigh next to nothing, so they do not mess with your swing weight, which is a huge plus. For you players out there, you screw them into the butt end of every club in your bag, and then you just go play golf. The system listens for the sound of impact. It pairs with your phone or your watch, and it logs every single shot on the course automatically. After you play about 5 rounds, the AI caddy feature really starts to shine. It learns your actual distances, not your ego distance, not the one time you caught a flyer and hit a pitching wedge 160. It learns your average, and it uses that data to tell you what club to hit based on wind and slope and temperature. Now, I do have to be upfront with you about the one thing that makes people pause on this one. It is a subscription model. The hardware comes with the first year included, which is generous, but after that, you are paying an annual fee to keep the AI. Insights coming. If you are the type of person who just wants a one-time purchase and forget about it, this might annoy you. Moving on to number 4, we have the Garmin Approach CT10 full set. This is a similar concept to the Arccos system, but with one major difference that appeals to a very specific type of golfer: the Garmin ecosystem. These sensors are basically indestructible and the battery life is rated at 4 years. Let me repeat that. You do not charge these things. You do not plug them in. You screw them in and you forget they exist for 4 seasons of golf. That is peace of mind right there. The way they work best is when you pair them with a Garmin golf watch. If you already wear a Garmin Approach or a Fenix or a Venue on your wrist, this is a no-brainer upgrade. The watch talks to the club automatically. You hit the ball, you look down at your wrist, and you see the exact distance of that shot right there. You do not have to pull your phone out of your pocket. You do not have to tag anything. It just knows. Here is the one little snag you need to consider before you click buy. If you do not own a Garmin watch, the experience is not as smooth. You can still use these tags with just the Garmin Golf app on your phone, but you have to manually tap the sensor to the phone to record the shot. It is not fully automatic without the watch. That being said, if you are already deep in the Garmin world, this is the cleanest and most reliable way to track your on-course performance. It closes the gap between what you think you are doing and what you are actually doing. Number 3 is where we get into the territory of fantastic value for the dollar. This is the golf pad tag system. Look, I get it. Not everyone wants to spend hundreds of dollars just to find out they have a slice, and not everyone wants another monthly subscription bleeding their bank account dry. That is why I love the golf pad tags. These things are brilliantly simple. They are NFC chips inside little plastic screw-in caps. There is no battery. There is no Bluetooth pairing. There is no charging cable to lose in the junk drawer. You just screw them into your grips and you download the Golf Pad GPS app on your phone. When you are on the tee box, you pull out your phone, tap the club to the back of the phone to wake it up, and then you hit the ball. That is it. The app uses GPS to measure the distance of that shot, and it builds a gapping chart for your entire bag over time. The one thing you have to be honest about with this system is that you have to remember to tap. I cannot stress this enough. If you are the kind of golfer who is forgetful, or you just want to walk up and rip it without thinking you will miss some shots, it is a small extra step in your routine. But here is the trade-off. There is no monthly fee for the basic distance tracking, and the data you get about your real-world club gapping is priceless. You might step up to a 150-yard shot and your brain screams 7 iron because that is what you hit in high school. Number 2 on the list is the Rapsodo Mobile Launch Monitor, also known as the MLM. Before I say a single word about how cool this device is, I need to drop the biggest disclaimer of this entire video right now. If you have an Android phone, you need to skip this one. It just will not work. It is an iPhone and iPad exclusive. I know that is a bummer for half of you watching, but I would rather be honest than have you buy it and be frustrated. For those of you on iPhone, this is the closest thing to a multi-thousand-dollar professional launch monitor that you can fit in your golf bag. This is not just a sensor attached to your club. It is a camera and radar system that watches the ball fly through the air. You set your phone up in the little tripod cradle it comes with, pointed at the hitting area, and start swinging. The app records your swing video and then it overlays a shot tracer right on the screen. You can see the exact shape of your slice or the boring trajectory of your knockdown shot. It is incredibly satisfying and brutally honest. The one thing you need to know is about the environment. Outdoors on a driving range, it is nearly perfect. Indoors, you need a good amount of light, and you really should be using those special Titleist RCT golf balls to get accurate spin numbers. If you are trying to use this in a dark garage with range rocks, you are going to get frustrated. But for the weekend warrior who wants to know their exact carry distance and see their ball flight visualized on video, the Rapsodo MLM is a complete game changer. It turns a boring range session into a data-driven practice. And here we are at the number 1 spot, the Blast Motion Golf Swing and Stroke Analyzer. I put this at the top of the mountain because it does something that no other device on this list does quite as well. It works beautifully for both the full swing and the putting green, and it works seamlessly on both iPhone and Android, so nobody gets left out. The sensor itself is tiny. It is about the size of a couple of stacked quarters, and it weighs almost nothing. You click it into the butt end of your club, or better yet, you get the specific putter attachment for your super stroke or flat cat grip. Then you open the app and you take a swing. And this is where the magic happens. Blast Motion is not measuring the ball. It is measuring the engine. It is looking at your tempo, your backswing length, and your face rotation. The metric that changed my own game personally is the tempo ratio. Blast Motion wants to see a ratio of roughly 3-to-1 or 4-to-1. That means your backswing should be 3 times longer in duration than your downswing. If you are at 2-to-1, you are rushing, you are lunging, you are throwing the club from the top. That data point alone can fix a two-way miss overnight. Now, I have to be honest about the one tiny annoyance with the Blast system. Because it is so sensitive to micro movements, you have to be very deliberate about your setup. You cannot waggle the club around forever and then swing. You have to set up hold still for a beat and then go. If you fidget around, the sensor will think you have started your backswing and you will get a weird reading. It is a small discipline issue, but once you get used to it, it actually helps your pre-shot routine. And the killer feature for me is the smart video capture. You do not have to sift through 15 minutes of iPhone footage at the range. The app automatically trims the clip down to the exact 6 seconds of your swing and overlays the data right on the video. You can send that to your coach or just watch it yourself to see exactly where you lost your tempo. All right, that wraps up the 5 best tools to bring your golf game out of the Stone Age and into the data age. Whether you need to fix your tempo or finally figure out your true iron distances, one of these is going to do the trick. All the links to grab these on Amazon are waiting for you right down there in the description box. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Go hit some fairways and I will catch you in the next one.